Hi everyone, today's video will be SFF Spotlight episode 107, and honestly, today's episode is an exciting one. It is packed with so many incredible news, and I'm excited to start talking about them with all of you. And yeah, I think in total there will be about 18 topics, and I'm trying to include as many as I could, but I think going beyond this is just too much for me to include in one video. And honestly, I can already tell that this video will be a pain to edit, but I will do my best as always. But yeah, this one, if you are new here, as always, this is a series of videos where I talk about new book news, new cover reveal, new special edition, and also new Kickstarter campaign in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. And today I want to start by talking about special edition first, because we have some pretty exciting titles and also special edition announcement here. The first one is, of course, from the Broken Binding, and this is about The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and somehow, miraculously, we managed to get the rights to actually publish the special edition of The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and also for the last 3 books by Brandon Sanderson as well. I will not spend too much time on this, but rest assured that we are all going all out on the production of this special edition, and also all the art directors are working on this, and yeah, we will be talking with the Jordan estate and also the publisher about the progress on the artworks as well. Everyone at the Broken Binding, the publisher, everyone really is excited about this, and we cannot wait to show you. I cannot wait to show you everything that we have done so far. And yeah, as I said, there will be more details about this, and I will make sure to spotlight them in my SFF Spotlight videos. But for now, it has been announced that it will contain interior illustrations, colored, and then a fold-out map, and then a set-free paper, soon binding, and you know how it is. It's everything that you can ask for from a special edition, and Broken Binding has decided to include all of them in the special edition of The Wheel of Time. The wheel weaves as the wheel wheels. And then for the next one, this is again a classic. This is for The Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry. The details is out now, so I will direct you to the correct link in the description down below. But the cover art is done by John Anthony Di Giovanni, and also the board art and papers plus the interior artwork are all illustrated by Kevin Kill. All of them are done traditionally, and I think they all turn out so wonderful. It is one of my biggest honor to actually work on this amazing Western novel. Just absolutely incredible standalone book. Even though it is part of a series, but it absolutely worked as a one-off standalone novel if you insist. But yeah, I highly recommend this book. It is amazing. I think John Anthony Di Giovanni captured what I wanted. Not only captured, he exceeded what I wanted from the cover art. But again, for the details regarding how to purchase this one and when, make sure to check out the link in the description down below. Rachel St. Clair did the typography on this one, and I think it turns out really great. After that, we have the special edition for Mortedant's Peril by R.J. Barker. This one, the cover art is done by Kirby Rosanes, and also the edges is done by him as well. The typography here is done by Jeff Brown. And well, I really got a chance to read Mortedant's Peril by R.J. Barker yet. So the cover art for this one is, the art brief is mostly done by my fellow art director, Eon. Yeah, Eon did a great job on this one. We worked together with RJ on the creation of the cover art for this. And yeah, of course, Kirby Rosanes is a genius. He is a genius in my opinion. And the end paper is done by Daniel Luzin. And for the final Broken Binding special edition announcement, I just want to spotlight the Dragon's Blade Trilogy by Michael Miller. So this one, it received a new redesigned cover by Jeff Brown. The typography is done by Jeff as well, but the end paper, all of them are done by Marco Gonzalez. And yeah, I love how this one turns out. When Michael Miller asked me who the cover artist for the special edition for his books, well, he gave me this brief, and it was really clear that it was done with Jeff Brown in mind. So of course, Jeff did a great job on the cover art. But for the last 2 special editions on the Spotlight, the next one is actually for the Liveship Traders Trilogy by our Robin Hobb. This is an amazing news. Up to this day, I think there is only one other special edition for the Liveship Traders, and it is the Subterranean Press edition, which is close to impossible to purchase now. Even if we are able to purchase that, the price of the books are very expensive. But that's not the case with the Liveship Traders. This one contained new cover art done by my boy Peng Lu, and then edges done by Sunga Park, and of course board art done by Sam Hawk. Basically the same as their edition of the Farseer trilogy. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited about this. I think owning an Illumicrate edition of the entire realm of the Elderlings will be something truly special. Well done to all the artists involved in the production of the Liveship Traders. I personally think that the Liveship Traders is the best second series. The second best series in the entire Elderling series, the best one being the Fifth and the Fool trilogy. And finally, the last special edition I want to spotlight today, this is about Jade Legacy by Subterranean Press. Of course, Jade Legacy is the third book in the Greenbone saga by Fonda, and the cover art is out now. And yeah, it's amazing. I know this scene. This is one of the most iconic scenes in the entire book, which is saying a lot considering there were so many impactful and unforgettable scenes in Jade Legacy. And yeah, this one, the cover art, just like the previous two books by Subterranean Press, it is illustrated by Micah, Epstein. And yeah, I love this cover art so much. I think it is the best out of the trilogy being published by Subterranean Press. And I cannot wait to own a copy of Jade Legacy SubPress edition. But before we start talking about Kickstarter campaign, now let's talk about new book announcements first. For the first two, I just want to let you know that there is a new title being announced. And the first one is actually for the sequel to The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. So this is Joe Abercrombie. I pretty much love everything that he has ever written, and I'm excited to read The Heretic. That's the title of the second book in the Devils trilogy or series. I actually don't know. I think it is a trilogy. But yeah, The Heretic is the second book in the series, and as a fan of Joe Abercrombie, of course, I'm so looking forward to reading this one. I believe this book will be published in the first half of 2027, so I'm excited about that. But there is another book being announced that will be published in 2027. So this is The Fox in Winter by Antonia Hodgson. So this is the sequel to The Raven Scholar, to the popular and also successful Raven Scholar, a murder mystery epic fantasy that I still need to get around to. I have wanted to read this one for quite a while now, and I have put this in my list of priority books to read, and I'm excited to find out that the sequel will be out in 2027. I believe this is a trilogy. The title of the trilogy is The Eternal Path. And then we also have a new book announcement from Wight, the author behind the Cradle series. The Cradle series was one of the most popular, maybe even the most popular self-published fantasy series for quite a while. And I think it's still super successful to this day. But Wight has announced a new book being published by Tor Books, and the title is Overworld. So this, I believe, is a combination of lit RPG and also progression fantasy, and knowing what I will get from the Cradle series, I think I can expect at least a great time from reading this book. But now, let's talk about cover reveals. First, we have the fourth book in the Time of Dragon series by Philip C. Quaintrell, and of course, this one, the cover art is again done by Chris McGrath. This is for A Tides of Blood and War. As you can probably see from the cover art, if you have read the first book, then you will know that this is Kitrana. Yeah, Kitrana or Kitrana. I don't know how to pronounce the name of the character, but at this time we are featuring an underwater cover art, and just like all the books by Philip C. Quaintrell in the world of Vedra, all of them are actually illustrated by Chris McGrath, and I think they all, especially when you line them all together, they all look so stunning together as a set. And then after that, we have an announcement from Scott Hawkins, the author behind the Library of Mount Shar. Well, he has a new book coming out soon, I think in September, and this is titled Blacktail. And I think this will combine horror and also fantasy in one book. I haven't read The Library of Mount Shar yet. I know that it is often recommended as one of the best standalone and also one of the most bizarre standalone fantasy novel, and I really need to get around to that. But I think it is cool that we finally have a new book being announced from Scott Hawkins. So hopefully it will be as good or even better compared to The Library of Mount Shar. After that, we have something that is tied to a super popular and critically acclaimed video game, Baldur's Gate 3. This is Astarion. Astarion, written by T. Kingfisher, with the cover art done by Eleanor Pitera. So yeah, it is beautiful, the cover art. I haven't actually played Baldur's Gate 3 yet. I know that it is one of the most popular and, again, as I said, highly praised games recently. So I really need to try that. But honestly, and I know this will sound like sacrilege, I saw some of the gameplay on YouTube, and I'm still not fully invested into trying the game yet. Maybe I will try it when it's discounted nicely, maybe. But if you have played Baldur's Gate 3, let me know what you think about it. I'm a huge fan of RPG like Expedition 33 and also Mass Effect. So will that align with me? As a huge fan of JRPG and action RPG like From Software games, let me know whether I will like Baldur's Gate 3 or not. But there will be a book, and I think this one is a prequel to the video game. As for the next one, this is not for a new book. This is a redesigned cover art. Well, not actually a redesigned cover art, because this is actually a new paperback edition of the Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson. So just like the Broken Binding edition, this new paperback edition will use the artwork from the French cover art by Marc Simonetti, but it is given a new typography design. So yeah, these are the first two books in the series, The Guardians of the Moon and also Death House Gates. And yeah, there will be more news about the Broken Binding edition, the third set of the Broken Binding edition of Malazan Book of the Fallen, hopefully soon. And finally, the last cover review I want to spotlight today. This is for an indie book, and this is for The Heroes That Never Were by Thomas Riley. And this one features cover art by Omer Onal, and I believe this is a grimdark epic fantasy series. I believe the first book in the series. And I still haven't read anything by Thomas Riley yet, but he is often known in the self-published fantasy circle for writing massive books, and I believe this one will not be an exception to that. I love that there is a dog in the cover art though, so usually that boosts well to my reading experience. But that's it for the coverage on new book announcement and also cover reveals. Now I want to talk about two Kickstarter campaign. The first one is the announcement for the Ultimate Edition of The Price of Power by Michel, and this one features cover art by Jeff Brown. Again, Jeff is one of the most popular artists in the fantasy genre right now. I have no doubt about that, and he did a great job on the cover art of The Price of Power. And I have read the book. I think it really captured the tone of the book really well here. But the Kickstarter campaign for this one is not live yet, but the page is already up. It already has about 600 followers. So if you are interested in getting yourself a copy of this one, make sure to check out the campaign. Now, speaking of campaign that is live and also, well, pretty much super successful, this is for the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, published by Raidmark. Raidmark is making this their pretty much the best special edition they have ever produced so far. They are going all out, like more than, I think, 42 colored illustrations. And also, I mean, look at the cover art here. Look at the design by Sean T. King. And then Raidmark also brought Tom Kitt and also Donato Giancola into this one book. And I think that's insane. Tom Kitt and also Donato Giancola are renowned artists in the fantasy genre. I think many of you who have read fantasy and also are paying attention to cover art, well, you will know who these two are. They are so famous and they earn every single praise they have ever got. And yeah, so many artists are involved in the production of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy Omnibus, and I will direct you to the link of the Kickstarter in the description down below. As for the final two news of today's video, today's SFF Spotlight, these are anime announcements. The first one is actually the anime announcement of Kagura Bachi. Now this has been a long time coming. We knew this would happen. Kagura Bachi is incredible. Although originally it started as a meme that it would become the instant best-selling, the most incredible manga series of all time, beating Naruto, One Piece, and all that. It started as a meme like that, and somehow after a few volumes, it actually became really good. I was initially apprehensive, but I like reading manga with katana as the magical artifacts, and well, they did it so well in Kagura Bachi, and the anime announcement has been announced. It will be, I believe it will be released in 2027, and I'm excited about that. And finally, for the last news of today's video, this is about the One Piece. Not just One Piece, but the One Piece anime. So this is being produced by Wight Studio, you know, the studio behind the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin. And yeah, this one, well, it will go back to the East Blue Saga, starting from the beginning with a better pacing, because if you are familiar to One Piece, you know that the pacing in the anime is just atrocious. It is absolutely horrible. It's just not good. Even though the animation can be done really well, but the pacing to reach that kind of incredible animation is just really a struggle to get through. And I think that's a shame. So the goal of this new season, well, I guess new season of One Piece, starting from the beginning, is to entice more individuals into trying the anime of One Piece, and of course that will lead to better sales again, even though it is already the most successful manga series of all time. Deservedly. I absolutely love One Piece. I've been reading the manga up to the latest chapter and it's just so good. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. That's all the news that I wanted to cover in today's episode of SFF Spotlight. I know that's a lot of news, and also, as I said, this will be a pain to edit, so I hope many of you had a great time watching this video. And yeah, just like always, do let me know what you think about the news that I spotlighted in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.